Welcome to Kart Passion. Our goal is to tell you about the world of kart like it has never been done before. Are you ready? Let's go! And now, place to the summary. In this episode of Kart Passion, focus on the journey to discover the world of karting officially begins, and Kart Passion tells you about the origins, history and evolution of karts from yesterday to present. The driver's clothing, in between safety and style, a universe of colors and graphics to protect and distinguish. The world of racing, Kart Passion explains the ultimate expression of karts. And finally, history, anecdotes and memories of those who have lived the world of kart in a unique way and at first hand. Karting. Fun and competition equals passion. A word, karting, which embodies a universe consisting of several concentric rings, which have as a fulcrum, as a nerve center, the racing circus, and all of them so exciting and adrenaline-packed. The kart is the first real step forward to turn young drivers' dreams into reality. A real springboard for emerging talents which find in karts the right dimension for their sporting growth and who can hope for a future in the ultimate four-wheel series, Formula 1. It is in fact no coincidence, by the way, that the majority of the greatest drivers such as Michael Schumacher, Fernando Alonso and Ayrton Senna have begun their fantastic careers, which later made fans from all over the world dream, by taking the first steps on the track at the wheel of these little fireballs. A preface, thus far, representing the minimum wage of acquired knowledge for the non-experts. There are countless aspects to be underlined when talking about karting. Kart Passion aims, taking on the burden and the honor, to show and to tell just how much this universe, extremely competitive, is the expression of a highly specialized and efficient industrial center, able to express itself at the highest levels right through that technological and stylistic avant-garde exercise, which turns out to be its final product, the kart. A vehicle in which each component plays a specific role and in which nothing, from design through development, is left to chance. Technique, characters, history, anecdotes are just some of the aspects on which Kart Passion will rely to intrigue both the fans and those who are not. Virtual tour inside karting. So, let's start from the basic question. What is a kart? Apparently, and for the ones that don't know much about it, a frame consisting of tubes, an engine and four wheels. But for those who already have a trained eye, there is a knowledge that, just like in the human skeleton, those tubes are not arranged randomly, but at particular angles and positions, and they are part of a specific pattern and a very accurate project. But not only this. With Kart Passion, we will have the chance to develop this topic. Before going any further, however, let us stop for a moment. We must take a step back down the memory lane and quickly retrace the history of the go-kart. Karting was born in the mid-50s in America, and just like all embryonic projects, the vehicle appeared extremely basic. 4 tubes welded together, a direct steering, a brake lever, a seat, 4 wheels, most often taken from factory carts, and an engine, which could come from washing machines, lawn mowers and such, and nothing more. But that was the genesis, and from that moment, crossing the ocean, the history of the kart has taken giant footsteps, crowning Italy as a real cradle for karting. To date, in fact, the most important chassis manufacturers worldwide have their headquarters in this country, which has always forged romantic motoring stories. From the opening American chapter to nowadays, it feels almost amazing to think that the name kart comes from a kind of kart. At a closer look, 60 years after their arrival on the racing scene, karts are true motorsport masterpieces, thanks to the continuous technical developments which make them similar in all respects to the single-seaters in 1-to-1 scale. So, those who believe that a kart is a toy, well, thanks to Kart Passion they will be able to change their minds and actually will find out that they have fallen in love with it. And those who already love karts, well, they can only be more aware of how this love is really a non-fading part of their lives. In alphabetical order, here are the names of the most prestigious and well-known manufacturers of the karting world. Birelart, IP Karting, Tony Kart. They represent nowadays, and since many years, the worldwide reference in the industry. Their colors, symbols and sports victories gathered in every part of the globe are key cards to emphasize the quality of their creations. In the next episodes of Kart Passion, we will get to know them one by one and well. We will show their history, evolution, technique, and then, right alongside them, we will go to where it all takes place, on the track, because the racing department is a close connection between production and development. The world of motorsports is a natural cradle of colors, sounds, sensations and passions since decades, and karting is no exception. And if on one hand manufacturers manage to deliver true engineering artworks, enabling drivers to express themselves to the utmost with the throttle pedal, on the other hand, the same goes for the highly specialized industry which caters for the driver's protection. Indeed, there is a very serious, important and fascinating chapter connected with a specific racing clothing which deserves to be discovered and related. Also in this field, technology has moved giant steps forward, scoring important points not only on the grounds of safety but also on the look. Let us think about the helmet, which above all has always been a distinctive element of each driver, and if in the 60s primordial customizations appeared in quite a simple manner, today young drivers take their first steps in karting featuring custom graphics, following the ever-popular trend of "a man is known by the helmet he keeps." In this context, an absolute leading actor is Lucky Design Company, which since decades indulges in graphic creativity connoting liveries, designs and colors to adorn the helmets of the karting circus. All this without ever forgetting that the helmet has a primary role, and often on the track it saves the driver's life. So okay for the looks, but a keen and alert eye is focused on the materials and the peak models, the historical ones, those that have undergone tremendous impacts have always responding, bringing the young driver back home safe and sound. Thanks to Kart Passion, in the next episode we'll show you how the customization of the helmet is born and done. And also in this case, you'll be fascinated by how creativity, entirely made in Italy, is a distinctive accent. Speaking of helmets, it is natural to think about another indispensable element, the overalls. In karting, the driver's body is subject to friction, movements and close contacts, which mean that the body should be protected by overalls homologated and that suit the driver perfectly. Also in this sector, safety and design are now elements that live together in harmony. And the Made in Italy label is once again the leader. Freem is a company which over the years has been able to match technology and safety with the revolutionary concepts of colors and style, effectively transforming an industry that had been static for a long time. New colors, special stitching and great attention to detail have made Freem a must for karting drivers. And then we will discover what lies beneath karting overalls, namely chest protectors, a very useful accessory. With Kart Passion we will have the opportunity to explore also this chapter, but there's more: shoes, gloves and others that are elements which protect and dress the car driver and which equally deserve yours and our full attention. From the next episodes, Kart Passion will take you to discover all these aspects which emphasize, incontrovertibly, that in the karting world nothing is left to chance. Racing and competition to discover. Kart is the only vehicle in the world which does not have a road market. Or rather, karting makes track and racing its unique, besides final purpose. Races are therefore its true DNA. But how does a competition weekend unfold? What are the reference championships? Legitimate questions, to which we will give an answer, starting from the essential notions to begin to understand the kart and the whole racing universe that goes around it. Karting is divided into several levels, ranging from the very low rental level up to the top, represented by CIK FIA and WSK races. In both cases, the promoter is WSK Promotion. How do they differ? CIK FIA races are basically promoted or otherwise designated by the International Federation. CIK means International Karting Commission and FIA is the International Automobile Federation. In this case, we have the European Championships and the World Championships. Why do I say it in plural? Because clearly the European and World Championships are divided in different categories. For what concerns the categories of the European Championship, so we have the KZ, the KZ2, the KF and the KFJ. These categories, let's say KZ and KF, are divided in two large groups. KZ are those with engines that also have gears, while KF are those with single-speed engines. Same situation, same ingredients and same categories for what concerns the WSK. The latter, still managed by WSK Promotion of Luca de Donno, aims to be a promotional series taking around the world the young drivers of each of the categories we have just listed and also those of the Mini. It therefore acts as a retention basin for new drivers. The Mini category, which is dedicated to the youngest, the 60, and which is therefore introductory to all the other karting classes. A past to be shared. It is absolutely undeniable that non-fading pages of motorsports have been and are written from the adrenaline-packed karting world. We, at Kart Passion, wanted to take a deeper look into this aspect too. How? Easy, thanks to the tales of those who have lived this microcosm from the inside, who know its behind the scenes, its prominent personalities, and all of those who have been driving cars have to show their talent to the world. To these stories, we have dedicated a space called Amarcord, an neologism of the Fellini film reference, which identifies the sharing of those anecdotes, unknown for many, which therefore become a heritage for all of us and a way to learn more about the world of karting. Of all the stories we have to tell to go-kart fans, we could surely recall the one of Sebastian Vettel, who started with us when he was about 12 years old and he was really a kid. When he started, he did not have great financial means, he did not even have the money to race. His father worked on an assembly line at Mercedes, where he built vans, and he was therefore not so wealthy to keep him racing in go-karts. So, we helped him with competitions in Germany, with our importer Mr. Novak, who assisted him with chassis and engines, and we helped out with tyres and more. When he went racing, he was our works driver, so he did the test for us. In the first races, he did well, and when the high point of the European Championship season came, he had an offer from one of our competitors, Dunlop, to race with them. They had offered about 20 million lira, about 20,000 Deutschmarks. That was many years ago. And just imagine a kid who did not have a lot of money having to choose whether to race a European Championships with the risk of winning it or not, with us, rather than race with Dunlop, which was not very competitive that year. So to take those 20 million lira and maybe finish last. And he decided to stay with us. In that year, he won the European Championships, he took first place, Red Bull saw him and he became a Red Bull driver that very year, while the Dunlop drivers finished last and second last and not classified. In short, he decided not to take that money and he won the European Championships. And this launched his career because in the next years Red Bull took him to Formula, and after he won various Formula One World Championships. So imagine, at the time he gave up these famous 20 million lira to be what he is today, a four-time Formula One World Champion. This is one of the particular and little-known facts of Sebastian Vettel's history. He was grateful to Vega, which had helped him to continue racing because he would have had to stop within a few months. As you can see in the different pictures, he had very large Vega stickers. However, he was really a talent because when he was young, as my father always said, he had bright eyes. My father had already seen something special in him. He remained one of our drivers, then he gradually improved because he became always better, and then he even won the European Championship. That year, Red Bull immediately took him as a Red Bull driver, and that is where it all began. The nice thing is that Sebastian has remained a friend, and each year he sends us his greetings, he comes to visit us on track, he almost always attends the races in Lonato and Castelletto, and he comes to Germany where he also took part in some races, and we are often in touch. The nice thing is that even his family has stayed the same. Just to say what a simple person he is, he still has the same girlfriend since he was very young, 16 years old. This just to show that he's a very square driver and very accurate, a bit like Michael Schumacher in his ways. He was a very demanding driver and has not changed at all. He's still the little boy he once was, very nice, very approachable. He loves to drive a go-kart and often visits us. As you can see from our showcase, each year he always remembers us, the Montese family and Vega, by sending his greetings written personally and with his whole family, so he always is in our hearts just like many other drivers, such as Robert Kubica. We are often in touch with him too, and he has stayed the same. Maybe Formula One drivers are seen on television as being very cold, but I can assure you that when they are in private with the people which have grown them, they are crazier than before.